Most people spend their lives waiting for one big opportunity that they believe will change everything. They think success arrives in a single dramatic moment, a lucky break, or one life-changing decision. But the reality is very different. Extraordinary lives are rarely built through extraordinary moments alone. They are built through ordinary actions repeated consistently over time. The smallest improvements, when practiced every day, create results so powerful that they eventually seem impossible to ignore. A single step may not appear impressive, but thousands of steps can take you across an entire country. In the same way, becoming just a little better each day can completely transform your future. Imagine improving one important area of your life by only 1% every day. It sounds insignificant because the change is almost invisible. You may not notice it tomorrow, next week, or even next month. That is exactly why most people give up. They expect immediate rewards, and when those rewards do not appear, they assume their effort is wasted. They fail to realize that progress often happens beneath the surface long before it becomes visible to the outside world. Growth is taking place even when you cannot yet see the results. Think about a builder constructing a skyscraper. Before anyone admires the finished building, countless hours are spent digging foundations deep into the ground. During that stage, it may look as though nothing is happening. People passing by only see dirt, concrete, and heavy machinery. Yet those hidden foundations determine the strength of everything that will eventually rise above them. Your daily habits work the same way. Every positive choice becomes another layer in the foundation of your future success. The greatest achievements in life are usually the result of repeated actions rather than repeated wishes. Reading 10 pages of a book every day may not seem extraordinary, but over the course of a year, it becomes thousands of pages of knowledge. Exercising for 30 minutes each day may feel ordinary, but over time it transforms your health, your confidence, and your energy. Saving a small amount consistently may seem insignificant today, but patience allows those small savings to become financial security. These changes are not dramatic because of what happens in one day. They become dramatic because of what happens after hundreds of days. Many people lose because they underestimate the value of consistency. They become excited when they begin something new, but excitement fades quickly. When motivation disappears, they stop showing up. They mistake temporary emotions for long-term commitment. The people who eventually succeed understand that commitment matters far more than excitement. They continue taking small steps even when they do not feel inspired because they know their future depends on what they repeatedly do, not on what they occasionally feel. Small improvements also build confidence. Every promise you keep to yourself strengthens your belief that you are capable of greater things. When you wake up on time, finish the task you planned, or choose discipline instead of comfort, you send a powerful message to your own mind. You begin proving that your words and actions match. Confidence is not something you magically receive. It is something you earn through repeated acts of self-discipline. Another reason daily improvement is so powerful is because habits compound. Just as interest grows over time, your actions multiply in value when repeated consistently. Positive habits create positive momentum. One productive morning often leads to a productive afternoon. One healthy decision encourages another. One completed goal increases your belief that the next goal is possible. Momentum becomes one of the greatest forces in personal growth because every small victory makes the next victory easier to achieve. Unfortunately, the opposite is also true. Small negative habits can slowly damage your future. Procrastinating for a single day may not seem dangerous, but repeated procrastination creates missed opportunities. Ignoring your health once may not matter, but repeating unhealthy choices eventually produces serious consequences. Complaining occasionally may feel harmless, but constant negativity shapes the way you see every situation. The direction of your life is determined not by occasional actions, but by repeated patterns. Patience becomes one of the most valuable qualities during the journey of improvement. The biggest mistake people make is quitting too early because they cannot yet see the reward. Every meaningful transformation requires time. Just as seasons cannot be rushed, personal growth follows its own timeline. The effort you invest today may not produce visible results immediately, but every action is preparing you for opportunities that have not yet arrived. Those who remain patient continue planting seeds while others abandon the field before the harvest begins. Every single day gives you a choice. You can remain exactly where you are, or you can become slightly stronger, wiser, healthier, kinder, and more disciplined than you were yesterday. That tiny improvement may appear insignificant in the moment, but repeated day after day, week after week, and year after year, it becomes the force that separates ordinary lives from extraordinary ones. Success is not built through one giant leap, but through thousands of small decisions that quietly shape a completely different future. Here's the expanded version of Astra's Keynote 2. Your habits shape your identity and your future in approximately asterisk 600 words with asterisk no headings and asterisk no ending sentences. Every day, whether you realize it or not, you are becoming someone. The person you will be 1 year from now is being shaped by the choices you make today. Your habits are not just routines that fill your day. They are the building blocks of your identity. They quietly influence the way you think, the way you act, and the way you respond to every opportunity and challenge that comes your way. While many people focus only on achieving goals, the real transformation happens when you focus on becoming the kind of person who naturally achieves those goals through consistent habits. Most people believe that success changes a person, but in reality, it is the daily habits developed long before success that create the person capable of achieving it. A confident individual was not born confident. Confidence was built through repeated actions that proved to the mind that challenges could be faced and overcome. A disciplined person did not wake up one morning with endless determination. Discipline was developed by making small promises and keeping them day after day until consistency became part of their character. Every habit you repeat is sending a message to your subconscious mind. When you choose to wake up early, you are telling yourself that your goals matter. When you exercise regularly, you reinforce the belief that your health is important. When you continue learning instead of wasting hours on distractions, you are building the identity of someone who values growth. These actions may seem ordinary on their own, but together they create a powerful image of who you believe you are. Your identity always influences your behavior. If you believe you are someone who never gives up, you will keep moving even when life becomes difficult. If you believe you are someone who is organized, you naturally plan ahead and manage your time wisely. If you believe you are capable of learning anything, obstacles become opportunities rather than excuses. The strongest habits are not driven by external rewards. They are driven by an internal belief about who you are becoming. This is why lasting change rarely comes from trying to force different results without changing your identity. Someone who constantly says they want to become healthy but continues identifying as someone who dislikes exercise will struggle to stay consistent. A person who wants financial freedom but still believes they are careless with money will find it difficult to make wise financial decisions. Your actions will always move towards supporting the identity you accept as true. Changing your habits begins with changing the story you tell yourself. Stop saying, "I am not disciplined," and begin acting like someone who values discipline. Stop believing that success belongs only to other people. Every positive habit is a vote for the person you want to become. Every time you make a better choice, you strengthen that new identity. The more evidence you collect through action, the stronger your belief becomes. Many people wait until they feel different before changing their behavior. They expect confidence before taking action or motivation before starting something important. But your identity grows because of your actions, not before them. You become confident by repeatedly doing things that require courage. You become resilient by overcoming difficulties instead of avoiding them. You become trustworthy by keeping your word even when it is inconvenient. The environment around you also plays a significant role in shaping your habits and ultimately your identity. If you constantly surround yourself with negativity, laziness, and doubt, those attitudes slowly become normal. However, when you spend time with people who challenge you, inspire you, and encourage growth, your own standards begin to rise. The people you spend time with influence what you believe is possible, and those beliefs eventually become habits. There will be moments when your old habits try to pull you back towards your former self. Comfort will tempt you to delay important work. Fear will encourage you to stay where everything feels familiar. Distractions will compete for your attention every single day. In those moments, remember that every decision is shaping your future identity. Every time you choose growth over comfort, discipline over excuses, and purpose over distraction, you are creating a stronger version of yourself that is prepared for greater opportunities, greater responsibilities, bigger challenges, stronger relationships, deeper confidence, lasting fulfillment, meaningful success, and a future built upon the habits you consistently choose to practice every single day. Here's the expanded version of Ask Keynote 3. Discipline beats motivation every time in approximately asterisk 600 words with asterisk no headings and asterisk no ending sentences. There is a common belief that successful people wake up every morning filled with excitement, energy, and endless motivation. It is an inspiring idea, but it is far from reality. Even the most accomplished individuals experience days when they feel tired, discouraged, or uninspired. The difference is not that they have more motivation than everyone else. The difference is that they have developed discipline. Motivation is an emotion that comes and goes, but discipline is a decision that remains steady regardless of how you feel. If you build your life around motivation, your progress will always be inconsistent. If you build your life around discipline, your progress becomes unstoppable. Motivation is powerful, but it is temporary. It often appears after watching an inspiring video, reading a great book, or hearing a powerful speech. In those moments, you feel capable of achieving anything. You make big plans, set ambitious goals, and promise yourself that everything will change. Yet after a few days, reality returns. Challenges appear, your energy decreases, and the excitement begins to fade. This is where most people stop. They mistake the absence of motivation for a reason to quit. Discipline works differently. Discipline does not ask whether you feel ready. It simply reminds you of the commitment you have already made. It tells you to wake up even when the bed feels comfortable. It pushes you to exercise even when your body feels tired. It encourages you to study when distractions seem more appealing. Discipline teaches you that your future is more important than your current mood. The strongest people understand that feelings cannot be trusted to guide important decisions. Some days you will feel confident, while other days you will doubt yourself. Some mornings you will be full of energy, while others will begin with exhaustion. If your actions depend entirely on your emotions, your results will constantly rise and fall. Discipline removes that uncertainty by creating routines that continue regardless of your emotional state. Think about an athlete preparing for an important competition. They do not train only when they feel inspired. They train because they understand that every practice session strengthens their abilities. A musician does not master an instrument by waiting for inspiration to appear. They improve because they practice repeatedly, even when progress feels slow. A successful entrepreneur does not build a thriving business by working only on good days. They continue solving problems, learning new skills, and making decisions because discipline keeps them moving forward. Discipline also builds trust within yourself. Every time you keep a promise you made to yourself, you strengthen your confidence. When you say you will wake up early and you actually do it, you prove that your words have value. When you complete the work you planned instead of making excuses, you develop self-respect. Over time, these repeated actions create a mindset that believes success is earned through consistency rather than convenience. One of the greatest enemies of discipline is comfort. Comfort whispers that missing one workout will not matter. It tells you that delaying your work until tomorrow is harmless. It convinces you that resting a little longer is acceptable. While these excuses seem small in the moment, they gradually become habits. Every time you choose comfort over commitment, you make it easier to repeat the same decision again. Eventually, temporary comfort becomes permanent regret. Discipline requires sacrifice, but the sacrifices are often smaller than people imagine. It means saying no to distractions so you can say yes to your future. It means choosing preparation instead of procrastination. It means finishing what you started even after the excitement disappears. These choices are rarely easy, but they are always worthwhile because they create momentum. Each disciplined action makes the next one slightly easier until consistency becomes part of your character. There will always be reasons to stop. Life will present unexpected obstacles, disappointments, failures, and moments of uncertainty. You may not always control what happens around you, but you always control the decision to keep moving. Discipline gives you the ability to continue even when circumstances are difficult. It reminds you that progress is not measured by perfect days, but by your willingness to keep showing up. The most successful people are not those who never lose motivation. They are the ones who refuse to let the absence of motivation determine their actions. They understand that greatness is built through repeated discipline, steady commitment, daily responsibility, focused effort, intentional choices, unwavering persistence, and the determination to honor their goals regardless of how they feel on any particular day. Many people never begin chasing their dreams because they are waiting for the perfect moment. They want the perfect plan, the perfect skills, the perfect circumstances, and the perfect level of confidence before taking the first step. They believe that success belongs to those who never make mistakes. But the truth is completely different. Success has never been built on perfection. It has always been built on consistency. The people who create extraordinary lives are not the ones who get everything right. They are the ones who continue moving forward even when they get things wrong. They understand that small, repeated actions produce greater results than occasional moments of perfection. Perfection creates pressure. It convinces you that every decision has to be flawless and every attempt has to succeed. As a result, many people become trapped by fear. They hesitate to start a business because they fear failure. They avoid speaking in public because they fear making mistakes. They delay pursuing their goals because they believe they are not ready yet. This constant search for perfection becomes an excuse for inaction. Days become weeks, weeks become months, and eventually years pass while dreams remain untouched. Consistency takes a completely different approach. It does not demand flawless performance. It simply asks you to keep showing up. It understands that progress is made one step at a time. Some days you will perform at your best, while other days your energy may be lower. The important thing is that you refuse to stop. Even a small effort moves you closer to your destination than doing nothing at all. Every day you remain committed strengthens your character and builds momentum for the future. Think about learning any new skill. Whether it is writing, speaking, exercising, studying, or leading others, nobody becomes an expert overnight. Every expert was once a beginner who made countless mistakes. They improved because they practiced consistently, not because they performed perfectly from the beginning. Every mistake became a lesson, every challenge became an opportunity, and every repeated effort brought them one step closer to mastery. Nature itself teaches the importance of consistency. A river does not carve through solid rock because it is powerful in one single moment. It shapes mountains through continuous movement over many years. A tree grows stronger season after season because it continues growing regardless of changing weather. The sun rises every morning without fail, bringing light through steady reliability rather than dramatic displays. The greatest forces in the world achieve their impact through consistency, and your own life follows the same principle. One workout will not transform your body, but hundreds of workouts will. One healthy meal will not change your health, but years of healthy choices will. Reading one chapter will not make you an expert, but reading consistently will fill your mind with knowledge that changes the way you think. One kind conversation may seem small, but years of treating people with respect create strong relationships built on trust. Success is never the product of one extraordinary action. It is the result of ordinary actions repeated with extraordinary commitment. There will be days when your progress feels slow. You may compare yourself with people who appear to be far ahead. You may feel discouraged because your efforts do not seem to produce immediate rewards. During those moments, remember that consistency often works silently. The greatest changes happen gradually before they become visible. Just because you cannot see dramatic results today does not mean your daily efforts are being wasted. Every disciplined action is strengthening your foundation. Many people quit because they miss one day and convince themselves they have failed. They skip one workout and stop exercising completely. They make one mistake in their business and abandon their dream. They lose focus for a short time and believe all their progress has disappeared. This way of thinking is dangerous because perfection is impossible. Everyone experiences setbacks. Everyone has difficult days. What separates successful people is not that they never fail, but that they never allow one imperfect moment to become a permanent habit. Consistency also develops resilience. Every time you return after a setback, you strengthen your ability to overcome future challenges. You teach yourself that temporary failure does not define your future. You learn that persistence is more valuable than talent and that determination can overcome obstacles that seem impossible at first. Every return builds confidence because it proves that your commitment is stronger than your excuses. Your daily routine is quietly shaping your future whether you notice it or not. Every morning you choose to continue, every task you complete despite feeling tired, every promise you keep to yourself becomes another brick in the life you are building. You do not need to impress the world with perfect performances. You simply need to keep moving forward when others stop, keep learning when others become comfortable, keep believing when results are delayed, keep improving through repeated effort, steady discipline, patient commitment, unwavering focus, and the quiet determination to show up again and again, regardless of how imperfect the journey may seem. Life has a way of testing every person who dares to dream. No matter how determined, talented, or prepared you are, there will be moments when things do not go according to plan. You will face disappointment, rejection, unexpected obstacles, and painful failures. These experiences are not signs that you are on the wrong path. They are part of the journey that every successful person must travel. The difference between those who eventually succeed and those who give up is not the number of setbacks they experience. The difference is the meaning they give to those setbacks. One person sees failure as the end of the road, while another sees it as valuable information that points the way forward. Every setback carries a lesson that success alone could never teach. Victory often rewards your efforts, but failure reveals your weaknesses. It exposes the habits that need improvement, the skills that require development, and the mindset that needs strengthening. Without setbacks, you might never discover the changes necessary to reach your full potential. Every obstacle becomes an opportunity to grow wiser, stronger, and more resilient than you were before. Think about a child learning to walk. No child takes a perfect first step and never falls again. They stumble repeatedly, lose balance, and fall to the ground countless times. Yet they never stop because they do not interpret falling as failure. They simply understand it as part of learning. Every attempt improves their balance, strengthens their muscles, and increases their confidence. Eventually, the same child who once struggled to stand begins running without even thinking about it. Adults often forget this simple truth. We expect ourselves to succeed immediately, and when we don't, we convince ourselves that we are incapable instead of recognizing that we are still learning. Many people allow one setback to define their entire future. They fail an exam and believe they are not intelligent. They lose a job and believe they are not talented. They experience rejection and believe they are not worthy. These conclusions are dangerous because they confuse one event with an entire identity. A single mistake does not define who you are. A temporary defeat does not determine your permanent destination. Every successful journey contains moments that could have looked like failure if the person had chosen to stop too soon. Your response to setbacks reveals the strength of your character. Anyone can remain positive when life is easy. Real strength appears when circumstances become difficult. It is easy to stay committed when everything is working in your favor, but true determination is measured by your willingness to continue when progress feels slow and challenges seem overwhelming. Every difficult moment asks the same question. Will you allow this experience to break you, or will you allow it to build you? One of the greatest benefits of setbacks is the opportunity to develop resilience. Resilience is not something people are born with. It is developed through repeated experiences of overcoming difficulties. Every challenge you survive reminds you that you are stronger than you once believed. Every obstacle you overcome increases your confidence in handling future problems. Over time, the things that once frightened you become experiences that strengthen your courage instead of weakening it. Setbacks also teach patience. We often want immediate success, immediate rewards, and immediate recognition. When those things do not arrive quickly, frustration begins to grow. Difficult seasons remind us that meaningful achievements require time. Just as a seed needs months before becoming a tree, personal growth requires seasons of preparation that cannot be rushed. The delay is not punishment. It is preparation for responsibilities you may not yet be ready to handle. Every challenge forces you to ask better questions. Instead of asking, why is this happening to me? Ask, what is this trying to teach me? Instead of saying, I can't do this, ask, what skill do I need to develop? This shift in thinking transforms problems into teachers. Suddenly, every obstacle becomes an opportunity to improve instead of an excuse to quit. Your mindset determines whether a setback becomes a prison or a classroom. There will always be moments when giving up feels easier than continuing. Fear may whisper that you are not good enough. Doubt may convince you that success belongs to someone else. Disappointment may tempt you to settle for less than you are capable of achieving. In those moments, remember that every person who has accomplished something meaningful has walked through seasons of uncertainty. They did not succeed because they avoided failure. They succeeded because they refused to let failure have the final word. The strongest version of yourself is not created during moments of comfort. It is shaped through adversity, persistence, difficult choices, painful lessons, courageous decisions, unwavering belief, determined action, continuous learning, and the refusal to allow temporary setbacks to become permanent defeats while continuing to move forward with greater wisdom, deeper confidence, stronger character, clearer purpose, and an unshakable commitment to becoming better than you were before every single day. Life presents you with hundreds of choices. Most of them appear so small that you hardly notice them. You choose whether to wake up when the alarm rings or press the snooze button. You choose whether to exercise or remain comfortable. You choose whether to spend your time learning something valuable or scrolling through endless distractions. You choose whether to react with patience or anger, courage or fear, discipline or excuses. While each decision may seem insignificant on its own, these choices quietly shape the direction of your future. A better life is rarely created by one giant decision. It is created by making one better choice today than you made yesterday. Many people believe that changing their life requires a complete transformation overnight. They think they need a perfect plan, unlimited confidence, and extraordinary circumstances before they can begin. That belief often becomes the very reason they never start. They become overwhelmed by the size of the journey and forget that every remarkable achievement begins with one simple decision. You do not have to change everything today. You only need to choose one action that moves you closer to the person you want to become. Think about the power of one better choice. Choosing to read for 20 minutes instead of watching meaningless entertainment may not seem important today, but after a year, you will have gained knowledge that many people never acquire. Choosing to save a little money instead of spending it carelessly may not feel exciting, but over time it creates financial stability and peace of mind. Choosing to speak kindly instead of reacting with frustration can strengthen relationships that last a lifetime. These decisions seem ordinary because they happen quietly, but they produce extraordinary results because they are repeated consistently. Every better choice strengthens your character. It teaches your mind that you are capable of doing what is necessary instead of what is easy. Every time you choose responsibility over excuses, you become more dependable. Every time you choose discipline over comfort, you become stronger. Every time you choose honesty over convenience, you become a person others can trust. Character is not built during one important moment. It is developed through thousands of ordinary decisions made when nobody is watching. The challenge is that better choices often feel more difficult in the beginning. Comfort always offers immediate rewards. Sleeping longer feels easier than waking up early. Avoiding difficult conversations feels easier than solving problems. Putting off important work feels easier than facing responsibility. The easier option often provides temporary satisfaction but creates long-term regret. The better option may require effort today, but it creates lasting rewards that continue long after the discomfort has disappeared. Every decision also becomes a habit if it is repeated often enough. The choices you make today are training your mind for tomorrow. If you repeatedly choose procrastination, delaying important work becomes automatic. If you repeatedly choose discipline, taking action becomes natural. Eventually, your habits begin making decisions for you because they become part of your daily routine. This is why one better choice today is so powerful. It starts a pattern that can influence the rest of your life. Many people spend too much time thinking about changing their future while ignoring the decisions that create it. They dream about success but neglect today's responsibilities. They imagine confidence while avoiding challenges that build confidence. They hope for better relationships without becoming better listeners. They desire financial freedom without improving their financial habits. Your future is not built by your wishes. It is built by the quality of the choices you make every single day. There will be moments when making the better choice feels difficult. You may feel tired, discouraged, or uncertain. You may wonder whether one small decision can really make a difference. In those moments, remember that every great achievement is simply the result of many small decisions made consistently over time. One better choice may not change your entire life in 24 hours, but it can change the direction of your life, and direction is always more important than speed. You will also make mistakes along the way. There will be days when you choose comfort instead of growth or distraction instead of focus. Do not allow one poor decision to become an excuse for abandoning your progress. Every new day offers another opportunity to make a better choice. Success does not belong to people who never make mistakes. It belongs to those who quickly return to the path after losing their way. Imagine where your life could be if you made one better decision every day for the next 12 months. Your knowledge would expand. Your confidence would grow. Your health would improve. Your relationships would become stronger. Your discipline would become part of your identity. The person you become would be almost unrecognizable compared to the version of yourself that continued making the same choices without intention. The future you dream about is not waiting for one extraordinary opportunity or one perfect moment. It is being created right now through the decisions you make, the habits you repeat, the mindset you develop, the responsibilities you accept, the challenges you embrace, the discipline you practice, the courage you demonstrate, the lessons you apply, the promises you keep to yourself, and the commitment to making one better choice today that leads to a completely different life tomorrow.